You trust me?
Working with Lukas is an absolute joy. He's so talented in many different ways, in specifically writing and acting.
What Lukas brought to that character, I mean, you guys basically created an icon. I'm talking Hannibal, Jigsaw, in a sense of just that commanding presence.
I've seen this thing probably 1,000 times, and it still freaks me out. So yeah, I'm really proud of the way that scene turned out, for sure.
Visionary director Lisa Belcher joins us today for an epic conversation. She's got a new movie called House of Abraham. I saw it, I loved it, and she's here to tell us all about it. Super excited, guys. Let's do it. Miss Lisa, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Or as Miss Beatrice would say, you are welcome here.
I love it. Thank you so much for having me. I feel welcome. Wonderful.
You're very welcome. Thank you, and super congrats to you and the entire Abraham team. I've seen the movie a few times now. I love it. And the poster, Lisa, the poster was haunting me and stalking me. I kept seeing it everywhere. I'm a huge Natasha Henstridge fan. I'm a huge Lin Shaye fan. Both absolute legends. So going in, I was already excited to see these two together. But then, to make things even cooler, more exciting, this was my introduction to you as a director and my introduction to Lukas Hassel, Abraham himself, who also wrote the film, right? And so before we get into the actual story, my first question is, you and Lukas, your names are all over the credits. Do y'all work together all the time? Was this kind of a first-time collaboration?
Yeah, so Lukas and I met at a film festival years ago. We both had shorts in the festival, and I saw his work, he saw my work, and we were like, let's figure this out, let's collaborate. And so I had written a short film, a drama called Guest of Honor, and it was actually the same festival, I think, the next year. I said, let's have lunch and let's talk, and I would love to talk to you about, acting in this film. And came to be that he actually came on as a co-writer because we really sort of built the characters together, and then I ended up acting across him, acting and directing, and so we worked together on Guest of Honor, and it was just an incredible collaboration. Working with Lukas is an absolute joy. He's so talented in many different ways, in specifically writing and acting. So we knew we wanted to work together again, and so we're like, all right, let's figure this out. Let's come up with a one-room horror. I think that was our first conversation. And so he came up with the idea for House of Abraham, kind of pitched it to me, and we were off to the races. So yeah, that's how it kind of came to be.
Very cool. Well, you definitely created something very special, very unique. And my favorite scene is right at the beginning of the film when everybody arrives at the house. When the character of Abraham is introduced. He set the tone, he basically reveals the concept of the movie, right? But what Lukas brought to that character, you guys basically created an icon. I'm talking Hannibal, Jigsaw, in a sense of just that commanding presence. You put Abraham in any kind of scene, any kind of situation, and it's gonna be interesting. The dialogue was very smooth, very slick, and it was just, I watched it the first time. Second time around, I just had it playing in the background. I just love listening to the dialogue. The concept overall, you kind of, it's like your own dark take on your very own Suicide Squad, literally.
That scene in the dining room where kind of everything gets introduced was probably the most challenging scene in all ways. As far as filming it, it was an all-day, endeavor. We had multiple cameras for that particular day. But I think the original rough cut of that scene was 20 minutes long.
Whoa.
And I don't know. And then it was, I think, 14 pages. And so I just kept trimming and trimming and trimming, and not to nerd out on kind of the edit, but it's amazing when you take out some information, then people lean into the next scene to learn additional information. So there's a lot of darlings that I had to kill, but I hope it works. I always wonder, in the beginning of a film, in that first act, to really lay the groundwork. It's hard sometimes to keep people interested. So thank you for sharing so much that you enjoyed that part. So
it's so awesome, and the movie flows. It's 90 minutes. You don't really see that too often anymore. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, so 90 minutes is my magic hour when it comes to movies. And I feel like movies today, most of them are a little bit longer, and sometimes I feel like maybe there's some hesitation there. Maybe they feel like they have to explain more, or they don't explain enough. and I don't mind the questions. I don't mind the mystery. And I feel like with this character, I mean, from the very beginning, there, I mean, you have questions. You know, you're thinking. And so, you know, congrats again. And that's just, it's so awesome. Is this, I mean, can you tell us a little bit about your process, whether it's, you know, going into this film or just in general? I mean, what's Lisa like on set?
I love every step of the way of filmmaking. Well, I mean, the raising of the money is a little hard, but but other than that, I love the whole process. And I think just the fact that filmmaking as an art is so collaborative. And we had such an incredible team, and it was hard work and we worked long hours, but I believe it was a really positive environment. And each actor is different, just like every human being is different. And we have different needs and wants and things that inspire us. And that's my job as the director, to create the ideal environment so that actor can be their best. And when that performance does come alive, there's just nothing better for me. Yeah, just talking about that I'm ready to get back on set again. But
and you're an actress as well, which I can totally relate to. I'm an indie actor director myself, and I'm not Hollywood like you guys, but acting is my first passion. I mean, is it the same for you, or was just making movies in general kind of the original dream for you?
It's a cool journey, and thank you for asking me that question, because I get to go back and sort of, I think sometimes we're always so worried about what's happening next, where am I going? Sometimes we have to pause and like marinate in the good stuff that's happened, or analyze the thing that didn't work well and figure that out. So I will do that. So back, I think I was in high school, and when I kind of just really leaned into and loved the idea of movies and wanting to make movies. And it took me a while to get into it. I wanted to go to film school, and my parents believed that was not the best path. So I went to business school and studied marketing, which I don't regret, because as an independent filmmaker, that helps me there. But it really, I guess I've got 3 kids. And so when my kids were little, I started a videography business and I did some weddings. And then quickly I started learning screenwriting, and my husband's job moved us over to Hong Kong for a few years. So I like to call Hong Kong my film school. So I worked in production design. I fell into acting by sort of accident. I did some theater, I did some Chinese commercials, and then I directed my first short in Hong Kong before coming back to the US. So I don't know. I think, film school is amazing. In another life, I'd love to go back and do film school, but then also you don't have to do that, because I'm obsessed with filmmaking. I can't wait to do the next thing, and I love it. I can't like not do it. And so I think my journey's been it was the business school aspect, and not the film school route.
So despite the hesitation or lack of support from home, I mean, what kept you going? What was driving you?
I don't know. I'm just obsessed. And I always like point to my heart when I say that, because it's an insane, intense passion, and it's a gift, and I absolutely love it. So, as any independent filmmaker knows, yourself, included, it's difficult. It's a journey. And I think, I've been blessed with the ability to persevere, I guess, because I tell you what, I've had so many doors slammed in my face, and I just get back up and dust myself off. And even along the road with Abraham, I mean, the feedback from audiences and critics have been really incredible. And what you said, thank you so much. That means so much. But also, as an independent production company, I don't have the marketing dollars that the studios do. So anyone else who's out there listening, if you saw the film and you liked it, please tell your friends and spread the word, because that's kind of our challenge right now, is just to get more people to watch it and enjoy what we made. So.
Well, you're super talented, and I definitely need to check out your shorts. Congratulations once again. And so you're a filmmaker, you're living the dream, you're hitting the festivals, you meet Lukas, you guys put this project together. Casting. I mentioned earlier that I'm a huge Natasha Lin fan, and I want to start with Natasha. Natasha Henstridge, I mean, to me, she's one of the most beautiful women on the planet. I'm a huge Wonder Woman fan, Lisa. So, respectfully, I just feel like there are some women out there who are they're built differently, whether it's their background, the modeling, whatever it is. And I feel like Natasha is definitely one of those women. She's like a real life Wonder Woman. And respectfully, I hope she doesn't mind me saying, but I feel like she's so underrated, acting wise. I feel like, she should, I wish I could have seen her in every big blockbuster out there. And so, but my introduction to her was a little bit different. I know that Species was her first big movie, but I hadn't seen it yet. So my introduction to Natasha was in Maximum Risk with Van Damme. I'm a huge Van Damme action guy. And there's a shot when their characters meet and Natasha kind of pushes Jean-Claude into this elevator and she comes into the light, it's close up.
I'll see you as soon as I get off, all right? Don't even think about going to sleep. We got a lot of catching up to do.
And I was just in awe. I was like, wow, who is this? I just, amazingly beautiful, respectfully. And I just felt like, she kind of outshined Jean-Claude a little bit in that movie because, he's a great looking dude as well. And it was the young filmmaker, actor in me I was always looking for people who stood out, people who had presence because I wanted to be those people, on screen, or those were the type of people that I wanted to cast in my project someday. So I was instantly a Natasha fan. So thank you so much for casting her. My next question, how did that happen? I mean, do you know Natasha? I mean, you have a legend in your film.
Wow, you say some really interesting things about her, and you really kind of nail it. So I love your sort of Wonder Woman comment about Natasha, and I think she has an incredible strength to her. I'm going to use that word. She really just commands attention on screen. Yes, she is beautiful, but her as an actress, she brought so much to Dee and was incredible to work with. And then off screen as well. She's been so supportive. She's got loads more experience than I do. And she was so supportive of me as a first time feature director. So working with her was really, really awesome. And to answer your question, how it came to be to work with her. So Lukas had worked with her before, so sent her the script and, was respectful and careful because she's got a lot of people sending her scripts all the time. But she read the script and really kind of fell in love with it. And so we had one quick Zoom call, the two of us, and then, and then we're on set a few days later and sort of just jumped in. And it's really fun to think back of working with her and just collaborating to tell this story. And man, Natasha, if you're listening, I want to work with you again. So actually, I'm going to have lunch with her on Friday. So
That's awesome.
Dee, you are welcome here.
Thank you.
And then we have the legendary Lin Shaye, who's been a part of so many iconic movies, horror movies especially, right? And in this film, I mean, she's so adorable, so full of energy, but at the same time, I mean, she's creepy and evil. I mean, again, you kind of hint at little things, but you don't really give everything away. And when you're directing this movie, when you're on set, you're working with these legends. I mean, are you nervous? Because I'm nervous right now talking to you and asking about these amazing people. I mean, do you feel any pressure at all? I mean, what's it like shooting with legends?
Of course, when I, learned, okay, I'm working with these two legends, I'll use your word exactly. But also, a film set, I don't know if it always is, but I kind of look at it as it's an even playing field. We all have one goal in mind, and that's to make an incredible film. And so nobody came to set, especially not Natasha or Lin, with any diva attitude or anything. They're like, all right, we are ready to work. They were prepared and had ideas and ready to collaborate and all that. So I'm very lucky for that. And I knew the script inside and out. I knew the characters as well as I needed to know them. And then, the actors come and bring their ideas to the character. And so it was beautiful. And of course there's moments where I'm like, I'm not sure. And I just take a pause and I might ask a question here or there, or, figure out where we need to go. Because it is a lot of pressure to be at the helm of creating a indie feature in 18 days. That's how many days we shot it in. So everybody's always looking to me with a question or something or whatever, and I love it, or I wouldn't do it, But it is at times I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure, or wherever. But yeah, working with Natasha and Lin was a joy, and I hope I get to do it again.
That's so epic. The entire cast was great. I mean, everyone was perfect. And as the story starts to build and get a little darker, another scene that really stands out, to me and probably to anyone who watches this is the pool scene. Very powerful scene, very powerful moment. And again, I'm an indie filmmaker myself. I love using water in any way that I can, whenever I can. But the way you did it, again, it's something that I had never seen before. And I mean, it was, again, just very powerful on that day. I mean, was this something, had you shot in water before, or was this something new for you and everyone else out there?
No, that was new. And just another piece of my personality, I love to push myself out of my comfort zone. So I've done a lot of things that I may not be comfortable with, but you figure it out and you get the right team. So, you know, as with water, as you know, probably the biggest priority was safety, to making sure, you know, that nothing went wrong and everybody was okay. So we had an incredible stunt coordinator, and he had a team that day. And so in the pool scene, there is the cage that's underwater that Abraham puts over Jonathan to help him to end his life. And this cage was built, you know, it's all closed in and it locks down, at least that's story-wise. But the top actually had a Velcro top on it that the actor, when he was underwater, if he needed to push up, he could. And then we had the stunt team in the water, out of frame, you know, immediately ready to rush over when he needed that. And then Lukas ended up playing a bit of a safety role as well to help get that top off for Will Magnuson, the actor who plays Jonathan. So yeah, it was a whole day and a half. There was an underwater camera, and then obviously wides and other shots out of the water. And it was an intense day with a lot of details, but I love the way it came out. And I think it's in the script, I just cringed and I held my breath, and I still hold my breath and my shoulders tighten. I've seen this thing probably 1,000 times and it still freaks me out. So, yeah, I'm really proud of the way that scene turned out, for sure.
It's an instant classic for sure. I'll probably watch it again when we're done here. But and even though the movie's already out, I don't want to give away too much. You know, I want people to go out and watch it for themselves. Again, because it's very unique, and the character of Abraham deserves his own franchise. But I do have one last question regarding the location, all the artwork that you had hanging around the house. I mean, was that intentional? Because I felt like, I instantly kind of got, kind of some Shining, type vibes where, everything's awesome to look at. But when you throw in Abraham and Beatrice and, the kind of the concept, it's like, it's cool, but it's, you instantly kind of get that feeling of like, yeah, but I probably shouldn't be here, type of thing.
Yeah. So when I first started on the journey of trying to find the house, as with low budget, you're kind of limited on what you could find. And so I needed something big enough, because as there's lots of different rooms and all of that. So the size was really important, and the, grandioseness or affluence, kind of it, because as you find later, this is a kind of a business for Abraham. So, yeah, I had several houses that ended up falling through that didn't work out. And this one, I found on a VRBO, and then the homeowners, I actually really connected with, and he is an artist. His name is Mike Frost, and he does all these beautiful stripes and circles and all of that in there. And it worked so well with the sort of circle of life and death. We really leaned into his art in that way. And then I don't know if sterile is the right word, but I loved the modern cleanliness and very simple. I like very simple and clean locations. So that was very much my style, but really worked for Abraham as well. And there's a painting in the sort of living room right when Natasha, or Dee arrives, and she kind of walks by all these stripes. And Mike Frost created that for the film, and it's called the House of Abraham piece. And I think it's for sale in Marfa, Texas, in a gallery somewhere. So, yeah. So
that's amazing. Well, I'll say it again. Congrats to you, to the entire team. Again, it's an awesome movie. And is this the beginning? Are you already on to the next project? What's next?
It is just beginning. This has been a long journey with Abraham, and as you may know, we played in theaters end of last year, and it was limited kind of across the US, and now we're on streaming. Yeah, so next for me, I've had a lot of people say, oh, you're having success in horror and thrillers, so that's what you should do. So no, I'm doing a romantic comedy next. So yeah, and that one just got greenlit. It's a romantic comedy / raunchy female-led comedy, kind of like a Bridesmaids. It takes place in the romance novel world. So it's called Dirty Words, and we will go into production on that this fall in Austin. So.
That's cool. Well, if it's directed by Lisa Belcher, I'm all in. I'm a huge fan. You are a real-life Wonder Woman, Miss Lisa. Thank you so much for being here. Super congrats on all your incredible work, talent, and success.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I mean, a lot. Big compliment. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Definitely check out House of Abraham. It's an epic movie with an epic cast by an epic director. Watch, enjoy, support indie film. Thank you for watching. Thank you for believing, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.